But on the same hand, like you really want someone to, especially someone you care about, understand the lessons that you can take away from that and what you've learned from that. So it's like, you have to like, especially for me, I find trouble like in really like emotionally connecting and expressing like how big of a deal some of the things are. And if your mind was like, I was explaining to my girlfriend earlier, I was like, they used to do these seminars in boot camp where they take you away from the program and turn the lights off and play certain music and close your eyes and have you walk around you and touch you in certain areas to engage all your senses and really put you in that mind frame. When I was telling her, I was like, it's so tough to explain to someone and make it so powerful when you can't like force their mindset to say, oh, I'm trapped and I'm this is the way out. I'm in here. So it's like, it's tough to kind of explain, but I think that especially some of the girls and my sisters that are on these groups on Facebook, the way they explain it and the way they're able to articulate their emotions behind it is, and I think some of them are starting to become more like, open to talking about it out loud. It was really powerful. And a lot of times I get some of the, like, I'm able to articulate and make my mind clear by reading some of the posts and stuff that they say.
So I'm going to ask you another hard question. And this is probably hard for you. You'll be the second youngest person that I've asked this question to. It really has nothing to do with anything from your past. I've just been asking all my guests this lately. And the question is, what has surprised you most about life so far?
People. I think, yeah, I mean, thinking in my nature, I've always been very like, I am very loving. I've always been very trusting. And I think that just putting my trust in people a lot of times was like the first thing that I started realizing, like, wow, this is not the way I thought it was going to be. This is not the way I thought it was going to be. I mean, and that was in the past. And now that I've kind of grown and learned that, like, people are just people and everyone's going to have their own actions and everyone's going to be themselves. And usually that's not the result of anything I did. Usually it's from within them or something they're going through. I don't feel as surprised anymore. But I do know that that was one of my, because obviously I said trust is one of my big things. And generally, the things that break our trust, I mean, the laws of physics and gravity are here. Like, we can walk on ground and breathe air and trust that we'll be alive, but come from other human beings, other people. But I think that for me, a lot of it had to do with how I felt about myself, also about how insecure I was with myself, and the fact that I was always scared and thinking that the next day would never come, and I have to live in this day to the fullest because tomorrow's probably not going to be there. I mean, a lot of that being put out there kind of made me even more surprised about things like that. But yeah, I'm curious to know what everyone else said also now about what's surprising the most in life.
It's different for everyone. I actually don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I feel like it's going to play a part in something that I produce in the future. So,
cool.
So you went through a lot, medically, and I know that's always hard, no matter how it occurs. So what happened that caused the injury to your face and the surgeries that you had to have?
So this one injury in particular was the cause of probably at least 10 or 15 of my major surgeries. I was on house arrest pending conviction and trial for my charges, and I had a music class where I had to go downtown to the opera one evening. My girlfriend and I at the time went to the opera, and upon leaving, we went to a bar. At that bar, some words were exchanged, and eventually I was thrown into a concrete sidewalk, and my entire jaw bit the side of the sidewalk and was totally fractured from here to here, with wires and plates all in here. Basically, the doctor said your jaw was a bag of bones, and we put it back together. And somehow this the only score entry you can see is down here now. They did an amazing job. But yeah, that was and there was just so many surgeries. I had to take bone out of my head and put it into my jaw, and then put implants on top of that. Almost all my teeth are fake, except the ones right here or has worked under them. Like I said, there's still wires going all the way through here and plates right here as well. So yeah, that was pretty major. There was about 6 months of my life or so I don't really remember too much. It's all really hazy. For 2 years, I had no teeth on this side. In fact, I went to prison, with metal on my mouth still, and had to be rushed out of prison one day to go get medical surgery, emergency medical surgery at a prison hospital. When I was asking them for months, I was like, it's hurting. And finally, one day, the metal just popped out, and then they rushed me to the hospital. But yeah, before that, I mean, like I've been stabbed, broken arms, legs, this arm like completely cut off almost on all the way to the side here, and just scars everywhere. Just crazy kid, drugs and parties and alcohol and fighting. I got scars like literally all over me. I mean, even honestly, like I say, like the last 6 years I've been doing better, and I have been doing much better. But I mean, I made this post I think on my Instagram a couple days ago, and all my family's asked me about it, where I had like a scar here and a bloody eye, red nose, and stuff like that. And that was just 2 years ago. I was getting to a point where I was like really depressed and down and like kind of mad and sad again, and not really knowing what to do. Kind of going through a separation with my ex-wife, and I was just drinking a lot, and I was like so mad at myself that I would go. It's funny now looking back at it. It was definitely not fun and nothing, not a joking matter. But I would go to bars and like I would just get in a fight and just try to get someone to hit me.